I told you guys that I would, so I am keeping my word. So this morning we are making a chlorophyll smoothie with all of our greens. But today I'm going to use, for my greens, I'm going to use kale and spinach. We're going to be using a blender. I'm going to be using Primo water. I usually use alkaline water, but I am actually out. Actually, I think I might have some, but we are making a smoothie based off of the needs that we need for, hang on, because I got two things to get. I'm going to tell you everything that you're going to need. I literally prepped before I came on, other than, let me grab my trash can. So I should have been a little bit more prepared. So yes, thank you for joining me this morning. I don't know what time it is where you are, but this morning it is 8:30 and we're about to jump right into it. So the first thing, like I said, I'm just putting the trash bag in, is the greens. So I always mix these and I have a container for those. Like I said, I've got my alkaline water. I stored it in my daughter's water bottle so that I could get a refill today, and our blender. So first thing, depending on what you like, what you don't like, this is going to, for people that are having issues with troubled skin, PCOS, things like that, this smoothie is going to help. So we're going to take one, great, because it's just me this morning. So we're going to take one Granny Smith apple. And we're literally just going to peel that skin off. Everything has been pre-washed, or I rinsed it. And I just kind of put it back in its original containers. So all I'm doing is getting that skin off of this apple. This actually is going to give you a lot of energy. And like I said, it's really good for the skin, and women don't realize it, but the folate for women that are still conceiving children, want to conceive children, folate is especially good for your feminine health, things like that. So yes, I'm just going to peel the apple, put it in here, and the less the better, because we will be straining it. Now, for some of you that have a cold press machine, you could do this too. But to be honest, I don't have one, so I'm just kind of doing it my way. Now, you could do these separate if you wanted to. You could blend up the apples with the alkaline water first. And as you can see, like, my face is cleansed today. I'm actually going to put on makeup shortly after this live goes off so I can get ready for my day. I've got a website to work on, just different things of that nature. So, to complete. So you could do the apples first if you wanted to, or you could do all of your greens. I think for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix all the greens first, because I kind of feel like it'll just make it a little bit easier to strain. Now you can go ahead and add the water, and I can guarantee you by the end of the day, you're going to notice a change within the first day of your skin. It says, does it... Okay, so we're gonna put probably about, okay, that's about 8 ounces of water. So like I said, we have our kale, and you don't have to do the kale if you don't want to, but you can. I'd use kale and spinach, and I know some people are gonna say, are you gonna taste it when you actually get done with this? But you are not going to taste the kale or the spinach. And like I say, just depending on how you kind of buy these, depends on how many you can make. Now I got two, this is one bundle of kale here. If you want to just use the one, this should make maybe 3 or 4 smoothies, because it's just me this morning. Usually I make them for my daughter, my husband, but it's just me. So if you want the glowing skin that makes my makeup look so good, because everything starts within, plus I take collagen, which I think I'm out of, but if you don't have collagen, this is a great way to do that. Because again, spinach has manganese, the folate, vitamin D, and vitamin D is important. So that's about all I'm gonna use of the kale. Next thing, you can use fresh spinach. I usually get the bag because, I don't know, in the refrigerator it lasts a little bit longer. And I don't take the stems off. I literally just take about a handful like this. I put them in the blender. This is our get right, get this skin cleared up smoothie. And like I said, it's done a wonder for my skin. Okay, so once your greens are in there, so we have spinach, kale, and the Granny Smith apples, which I only did one because, again, it's just me. So once that's done, and you can put as much water in there. At the end of it, my cup is this size. I put my straw in it. I sip on it until it's gone. So just whatever size and for a number of people that you're making it for. Now, once I do that, try to make sure that I have enough water. Because again, remember, if you don't have a cold press machine, you are going to have to strain this, which I have a strainer that I use here. At some point, I do want to get a bigger one, but yeah, this is just going to do for now. It's going to get a little bit loud. Just blend that up real nicely. And I just kind of cut it off and on until I get it in the consistency that I want it. If I need to add more water, add a little bit more. Usually after about maybe a minute, 30 seconds, you should be good. Okay, so once that's done, we have our kale, apple, everything in there. So I'm just gonna take a little jar just like so, which this, as you can see, the moniker of where I'm from, get the Kentucky honey. This is in my home state, love it. It's locally farmed, but I'm putting it in this jar. So once I get done with that, as you can see the consistency of it on camera, it's really thick, but not too thick. Because remember, all of that pulp, everything is coming out of there. Okay, so once I pour I get it filled up, I usually take, where's my spoon? I have a silicone spoon, just like so. And I just kind of move that around, making sure that I get all of the good stuff out. And for some, I know one day somebody was asking me here in person, they was like, how long does it take to make it? And honestly, it probably takes about 5 minutes. It doesn't take me very long. Well, 5 to 10, because see, most of this stuff is prep, but I wanted to show everyone what it takes to actually make it. Again, if you have a cold press machine, this is a lot simpler, but for people that don't have a cold press machine like myself, I eventually want one, this is the way to do it. And you'll see all of the juice going into that cup. Everything is in that strainer. You're just gonna throw that away. Okay, and you're just gonna repeat that until you get all of your green goodness out. And like I say, it strains really good depending on the strainer. Me being very, just trying to find the best solutions to do anything, I actually got this strainer from the Dollar Tree. They actually have the real big ones, but I find like when I do cup size stuff, this works better. Because the bigger the strainer, the more juice comes out on the side, and we don't want that. So far, this is how much we have. This is before we add our bananas, pineapples, blueberries, and anything else you want to add to it. Okay, so once we're almost at the very end, guys. Bells. I say guys because it's just kind of, I'm working on my language, okay? I'm working on it. So yeah, once you are done straining, I will read the comments in a minute. Although I have my glasses on, the phone is kind of on the counter in front of me. And yeah. Okay, so this is probably going to be our last pour through, this very last bit. Now, before we add our bananas, the pineapples that I've already cut up, this is one of the dull. I just have very little because, again, it's just me that I cut up very fresh. As you can see behind me, I have more bananas and a fresh pineapple that I picked up this morning. Now, if you prefer, you can use canned pineapples if you like. Now, me personally, I like the fresh pineapples. They taste better. They don't have that canned taste. Now, I do like them. It's just I prefer something fresh. Okay, so once I'm done with that, guys, as you can see, I have quite a bit. That's it of our greens. This is our chlorophyll. I'm going to pour it into this cup so that you can see the richness of the greens. This is apple, kale, and spinach. Look how much that is. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. All of this right here, the goodness of it, amazing. Let's see. Yeah, good question. A lot of it is modifications on the food. So yes, this is what that looks like. So good. All right, so now that that's done, what I like to do, once I strain everything through the first time, I take that same strainer, I strain it through one more time, just to make sure, because sometimes I still have like a little bit of the pulp. And as you can see, not very much was left. That's how good it strains it. So just a little Dollar Tree strainer is all you need, or just whichever that you have. So that is our green juice. We are actually going to rinse this out. This is the remnants of it, other than what we threw in the trash. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm rinsing. Okay, now, this is rinsed and ready to go. So we're just going to set the green part of it aside. Okay, so now we have our pineapples, everything. Like I say, I'm going to add some ginger, pepper, and turmeric. Turmeric only works with the activation of pepper. Your body will only digest it with pepper. So I'm going to take, there's like a little bit of juice from the pineapple. I'm just going to put that straight away into the blender. This I will not strain. I have 2 bananas, but again, since it's just me, sometimes if I need a potassium kick, I will add the 2 bananas, but I'm actually going to only use 1. I prefer my bananas a little bit aged because depending on the stage in which you eat your bananas is what you get out of them. So they say, I've read different studies that sometimes it's better when they're a little bit aged. Sometimes they're better when they're more green, like the ones I picked up today, but it's your personal preference. Okay, I get all those strings off. Okay. I coat that banana. The strawberries, these are also fresh, but during the winter, because strawberries aren't in season, I just get the frozen ones. And usually a bag of these makes a lot of smoothies for me. I usually take about 4 or 5 strawberries, but you can add as many as you like. That's 6 that I put in there. And now, again, frozen blueberries. They say that frozen blueberries, and none of these things are sponsored by any of these companies, by the way. I just happen to shop at Walmart, Publix, just wherever I am to get what I need. This was Walmart. Okay, so the blueberries, same thing. I usually don't do a whole bunch, but maybe like a 1/4 of a cup. That's all, because again, it's just me. Now, before we blend that straight away, I'm getting ready to, like I said, to get the ginger, the turmeric, and the pepper. A little bit of cinnamon. And again, remember, turmeric does not work. It does, I mean, you can ingest it, but the body doesn't absorb it. So all I do is take a little bit of my ginger. You can grate fresh ginger if you want. I make a ginger tea that I really like. It's really good for you. Ginger does kind of help with digestion as well. This is the turmeric. Just a little bit of sprinkle of that. a little sprinkle of that pepper, a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon helps to stabilize your blood sugar. So if you need anything that's like, especially people that are insulin resistant, you know, although all these things are really good for you, and they're from nature, just remember that cinnamon does stabilize blood sugar. Turmeric is really good for inflammation and skin health, believe it or not. I don't know where you're watching, but curcumin, turmeric, tamarind, those things are really popular in Indian countries, and they have really great skin, and their cancer rates are astronomically low compared to the rest of the world. And it's just because of those things there. So it's important to add those, if you can, to your drink. All right, so now blueberries, strawberries, pineapples, bananas are in here. We're getting ready to take the green smoothie. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys, for the ones that have just tuned in, just how green that is. All of that is going to go in here. If you want to sweeten it, some people use honey. Some people use sugar. You can use, now sometimes I'll actually use like a cranberry. I think I will, just a splash. Not very much, because I kind of feel like this will actually carry itself in sweetness, but it's just up to you. So I'm just going to do like, maybe like that. That's it. Because I really don't like to add any sugar to it. It's just more for the taste. I think this is the cran grape. Yep, because I love the cran grape. I love the cran apple. Okay, so now that we've got our greens, we're just going to pour that into there. Just like so. All right. We're going to rinse our lid because, again, this was used to do our greens, the Granny Smith apples. The Granny Smith apple, you can use Golden Delicious if you like. So before I blend this up, for anybody that just tuned in, a Granny Smith apple, blueberries, strawberries, kale, spinach, pineapple, banana, and a splash of cran apple. Like I said, you can do whatever. Turmeric, ginger, pepper, and a little bit of cinnamon to help stabilize blood sugar. All right, so we're just gonna put that lid on. I'm missing the lid to the blender, so I'm using my reusable coffee lid. So we're just gonna blend this up. I like to do it like that, just so everything gets kind of, blended in there real good. If you want to, use ice. Now, a lot of times I use the alkaline water to make my ice cubes, which is what I'm gonna get today, now that that's in liquid form. So again, I use the alkaline water 10 pH, because anything above, I believe it's 8 or 9 is the pH level that you want to be in, because that helps to alkaline the body, the intestines when you're eating. So I usually do 3 ice cubes. And that's if you just wanted to kind of stay chill and be chill for that time. Cut it off and on, so everything that's at the top goes to the bottom. Everything at the bottom, when you cut that on, goes to the top. Okay, again, I get everything. Once you start hearing that ice crunching, because again, for those that have tuned in, if you have a cold press machine, use it. I don't have one. I'm more of a conventional kind of girl. This is what I live by when, like, say for instance, I went to do a interior design consult for a salon that I'm actually working on at the moment. And one of my sayings that I live by is, you use what you have until you can get what you want. So until you can get a cold press machine, a blender will do just fine. I think we are ready, everyone. Again, most of everything, the kale cost me $1.24. The spinach was like $1.98. We're gonna say $2. The Granny Smith 2 apples was like $1 something. The blueberries were $2.38. Strawberries were $2.38. And again, like I said, I use cinnamon. These are probably things you have in your cabinet. Bananas are obviously, like at Walmart, were 50 cents a pound. I think it was $1 something. So this is very inexpensive. Again, this is really good for women that are PCOS, skin, you know, just all of that. Like just me doing this at least twice a week, just twice a week, my skin has improved. And of course, my cleansing regimen. Another thing you can add to this smoothie that is really good, we are actually done blending. I know it's loud, it's over with, thank the Lord. Is chia seeds. I don't have any chia seeds. I'm actually out. Sometimes I'll take chia seeds and put them in water. Chia seeds are really good for hair growth. They're really great for your skin. They're really good for digestion. Really good for women because sometimes I know with hormones, we can tend to, things get just kind of, you know, clogged up a little bit. So chia seeds are really good for that. So a lot of times I will add chia seeds to my smoothie, but I'm not today. But I just want to show you guys what you can see on camera, what that looks like. And honestly, this is enough to make about 2 smoothies, really. What I do is take that remainder. My daughter loves this. So she's at school at the moment, so I'm actually going to save this for her. But I'm going to show you guys. I got my top here, got my straw. And we're going to do a taste test on camera. Let's see. Look, the kale, the spinach, you don't taste. You just taste those blueberries, the strawberries, the pineapples, the bananas, the sweetness of that cinnamon. You can taste the cinnamon. I mean, I don't know if my daughter will get this when she gets home from school. I'm probably going to drink both. No. What I usually do for her, this is really good for kids because of the manganese. A lot of times when children aren't getting the vitamins that they need, they tend to not sleep as well. Sometimes they get restless. So yeah, I just like to have something like this for her. So that's it, guys. This is my chlorophyll smoothie that I make. If you do buy the powder, I did have the powder. It was called Marine Greens, and it had the kale, the spinach. It had all these amazing elements in it that I really like. But if you don't have the powder to kind of mix, this is a kind of cheap and inexpensive, because I mean, this is how much kale I have left. That's the apple. This is how much kale. I actually have 2 of these. They were in a bundle. This bundle cost me $1.24 at Walmart, literally. So it's inexpensive. Like I said, the spinach, you can use fresh spinach, like where they have it wet, like at Kroger. I just use the bag spinach. This is all you need. Blueberries, strawberries, you can, now when it gets warmer, strawberries are a little bit sweeter in the South. Everything's sweeter in the South. You know, I eat your girl. Everything is sweeter in the South, so I usually use fresh strawberries. But to me, until they get ripe into season, I use the frozen ones. That's just my preference. So that's it, guys. That wraps up our live. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I have all kinds of things on here, from makeup to just pretty much everything. You know, Belle's do it all, you know, from cooking, cleaning, makeup, businesses. Like, we doing it all in 2025. So anyway, have a blessed day. I will see you on my next live. Tune in. Again, subscribe so you know when I go live. I'll see you next time. Well, maybe.